Greetings, everyone. I was reading an essay this morning entitled, When Human Life Begins. It was published in March of 2017 by the American College of Pediatricians. The reason for my research had to do with my personal Bible studies, which I'm doing on the Ten Commandments. In Luther's Small Catechism, the fifth commandment speaks of God's gift of life. When God communicated with Moses, he told him to recite to Joshua and others the details of the things that were happening at that time. In chapter 20 of Exodus, God spoke the words we know as the Ten Commandments. That's in Exodus 20, verses 1 to 17. These commandments were written by God and given to Moses. In verse 13, we read the fifth command, "You shall not murder." Clearly, God was speaking to human beings about human beings. By giving this command, God was saying that human life is sacred. It is the will of God that forbids the premeditated, unlawful taking of another human being's life. So, I wanted to review what the scientific community had to say about human life. C. Ward Kisher, a professor of embryology at Arizona, writes, quote, "Every human embryologist worldwide states that the life of a new individual human begins at fertilization or at conception." Close quote. God gave life. God regulates life, and his law is above the broken laws of human beings. In the scientific world, it becomes clear that the wonderful mysteries of life are embedded in the systems God designed by the Creator. The sperm and ovum of men and women unite in a separate being as allowed by God. Once that takes place, God lays down the rules and regulations according to which we humans are to live our lives. As I write these words, it is clear that mankind, and especially many Americans, have done whatever it takes to turn away from the will of God in this regard. My saying so is clearly emphasized by the statistics that report millions of deaths of innocent children through abortion. The sin is forbidden, but the sin is also forgiven. I'm reminded that in all this there is compassion, mercy, and unlimited love. Two passages come to mind, and I'd like to express them to you. First of all, in Luke chapter 23, verse 34, we're told, Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing." So far that verse. The second one reminds us, in all cases, now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. That's 1 Corinthians 13:13. And so we pray, may the Lord forgive us and give us peace.